From the Voodoo BBQ, 2740 Severn, right off Veterans in Metairie, the place where the barbecue is the best in the world. It's the Prep Recruiting Insider Show. Hello everybody, I'm Ken Berthelot. WHNO TV 20 Sports, along with our recruiting guru, Renee Nadeau, here with another edition of the Prep Recruiting Insider, and today, a very special day. It's Rummel Raider Day on the Prep Recruiting Insider. We have with us today 10 members of the Rummel Raider #1 ranked team of Coach Jay Roth. They've been ranked #1 for most of the year. You're going to meet 10 players and the coach, and we're going to start right now, Renee, because we've got Coach Jay Roth and one of his top offensive linemen, Nathan Breaud, and every player you meet today is an all-district player. How special of a day this is. And first of all, Jay Roth, congratulations on a great season so far. Before the year, did you imagine it would be this good?
No, I did. It's been a great ride. It's been a fun season, and hopefully we can keep on having fun for a few more weeks.
Jay, how tough is it having that target on your back, #1 from start to finish? You're still #1. You get everybody's best shot, and you came out of a pretty tough district as well. So it's got to be tough for week in and week out.
Well, I didn't think it would be too fun, and I wasn't too happy about it early by being picked #1, but what it's done, Renee, it's helped us keep us focused. And we've been a focused football team because we know we're getting everybody's best, and we would like to stay there.
One guy who's responsible, partly responsible for the offensive success is Nathan Breaud. And Nathan is an all-district guard, and you look at the history of offensive linemen, recent history, Damian Williams at ULL, P.J. Lonergan at LSU, and Garrett Weibel. And Nathan, that's pretty stout guys who played at Rummel, history. And, you know, you feel any pressure to kind of keep the torch going, if you will? The guys who have preceded you have done so well, offensive linemen. Kind of feel a little pressure to kind of follow in their footsteps?
There's definitely a little pressure. The coaches expect that out of all of us, and they push us to be just like them or do the same drills, practice just as hard like they did.
How tough is it, Damian Williams and Keith Fulton, two guys who are on offense, talented, how tough is it to block in this offense for guys such as that? Anything that special, challenges?
Not really. Our backs are really good. They hit the holes perfect, and they make plays out of nothing sometimes.
Jay Roth, when did you this year realize, boy, this team is really coming together, that not only are they going to be good, but this is a special team that can take that next step, not only make that final game, but win it?
Well, you know, Ken, I go back to January. I wasn't quite sure about this team, to be honest with you, especially the seniors and their leadership, and I challenged the seniors in January. I put a little magnet on all their lockers saying the strength of the team lies in the strength of its leaders. And I knew the senior players had to be strong in leadership. And I think their leadership is what's gotten us to this point. They've become a tight-knit group. They do a lot of things together. They're unselfish, and that's a big thing, unselfish. And they've been a fun group to work with, and they've come together. I think that's been the most important part, is seeing that we have a good leadership in this class.
And Nathan, as a player on this team, how do you think the team responded to what Jay, your coach, just described, what Jay just described?
Just coming together as a team, playing as one, and having each other's backs on the field, it really helps us.
Jay, 27 years in coaching, 18 at the helm of Rummel. Who are a couple of people that were responsible for molding you as a coach?
Well, just starting at Rummel, Poulette, was the head coach when I played there, and my father was the coach at Rummel. He was the head coach for the last 2 years. Guys like Al Pontiff, Rick Gailey, who were offensive coordinators and offensive back coaches. In college, I still talk to Joe Clark, who was my offensive coordinator coach at Nicholls State. So, as a player, I keep in touch with my former coaches, and they mean so much to me. At every level, I keep in touch with my high school coaches, my college coaches, and even guys who I work with, from Hank Tierney to Mark Sarngy, Scott Bain's father. So it's just unique that I've always kept in touch, whether I played for them or work with them. I enjoy keeping in touch with those guys, and I've learned something from everybody.
Now, what concerns you about your next opponent, Dutchtown?
Well, first of all, it's a team that Rummel has never played in football, so it's a team we don't know very well, other than looking on film. They're a very physical football team, fast. they have a great history of great players. You just take the guys in the last couple of years who have played for LSU and Alabama come from Dutchtown. So our kids know what to expect. We're getting a talented football team Friday night, and a team that's been ranked in the top 5 most of the season.
Nathan, is there anything special that you as a leader and an offensive line leader does with this team to help them get ready for a game? You guys know what the routine is, but what do you as a leader do as an offensive lineman to make sure everybody stays focused on the next opponent?
A lot of preparation, film, and just staying humble.
That's good. What are your plans after Rummel as a senior this year?
I really don't know yet.
Haven't thought about it?
Yes, sir.
What you want to do, maybe what you want to be, where you want to go to school, anything along that line?
Not yet.
Nothing that far along, huh?
No, sir.
Sounds like a typical offensive lineman.
Just lead me where to go. The thing is, what point of season, Jay, did you think that this could be a special year? Was it a game or a week or a special event?
I don't want to say I've even thought that yet, Renee. I mean, you can't look ahead. If you look ahead, we're going to be eating Thanksgiving with our families on vacation next week instead of having Thanksgiving practice at Rummel, and that's what we want to do. So we need to stay focused on task at hand right now. So although it's been an enjoyable year and it's been record-setting for Rummel being #1 during the year, I think we still got a few more things to accomplish.
You got the rest of this year to go, but next year, the Catholic League we put back together, it's got to be special to have the group of schools again. Holy Cross, Shaw, all coming back. Very
excited about that. Very excited, just because you love working with these guys that coach at the Catholic schools. And although we've played them in non-district games the last 2 years, it's going to be nice to be back together as a district.
Jay, this is a recruiting show. What do you tell your kids about the recruiting process and how to enjoy it and how to go about it?
Well, you might be asking the wrong guy right now, Kenny. I'm not a big fan of recruiting because I think sometimes we have guys that get overlooked. But the most important thing to tell my kids is that Rummel comes first right now.
Yes.
Rummel's first. You're playing for your team, and that recruiting will work itself out. But I tell them, the way you play at Rummel is going to get you noticed. I mean, just in the last couple of weeks, some of our players have excelled in certain games, and my phone's been ringing because these coaches see film every week. So I tell them, pretty much, if you take care of your business on the field, it'll pay off. If you would, college is so much height, weight, speed now. A lot of times you can be a great high school football player if you're not that height or if you're not that speed. You're going to be a great high school football player.
In the last few seconds, Jay, how much is it going to help you, having been to the Dome before and having some of these kids with you, the experience having been there a few years ago?
Well, we're not there yet. It's only week 2, Renee. But I will say this. Nathan was part of our team as a freshman on varsity. So was Damian, Terrence. A lot of these guys were part of the team. Damian and Terrence actually played in the Dome. So we do have some experience. We know it's going to take, it's 3 more weeks. It's 3 more weeks to even get close to there. So we got another third of our season left till we get there.
Coach, good luck the rest of the way. Nathan, good luck to you the rest of the way. We're going to take a break and be back with some more Rummel players on Rummel Raider Day. We'll have Terrence Jones and the Kennedy brothers, Matt and Michael, right after this from the Voodoo BBQ, 2740 Severn. Oh, look at that rack of ribs, St. Louis style ribs here at the Voodoo.
And welcome back to the Prep Insiders Show right here at Voodoo BBQ, 2740 Severn, between Vets and the I-10 Service Road. We've got some athletes on today. #1 ranked Rummel Raiders. And we had a first segment with Jay Roth and Nathan Breaud. This segment, we're going to talk to some defensive players, guys that have kept their opponents under 10 points per game. To our left is senior outside linebacker Terrence Jones. To his left, number 37, senior linebacker Michael Kennedy. And to his left, brother Matthew Kennedy, defensive tackle. Guys, thanks for being with us here today.
Thank you.
Congratulations, #1 ranked Rummel Raiders. First of all, I'm going to ask you, Terrence, as a senior, you've been to the Dome before. How tough is it having that #1 ranking over your head? You get your opponent's best shot.
It's very tough because you have the target on your back every week. Every team want to knock you off, and we got to come with our best every week we play. So we go out to practice and work hard every day to stay on top.
And Michael, as a senior linebacker, you're a very active kind of guy. And what is this? What do you like about this defense? What kind of defense do you run that kind of suits your skills?
I think one of the best things about our defense is our coaches have found a position for everybody that needs to be on the field at the time to make plays, and they kind of set it up to have our playmakers make plays all the time.
And Matthew, you're the younger guy here, defensive tackle.
Yes, sir.
I guess you got to feel some comfort with your brother and Terrence behind you. What do you feel like your skill level is? What makes you special as defensive tackle all district?
I think it helps that I'm not as big as most, but I think I'm pretty fast. And I think it helps out that I'm very elusive, so it helps me.
This week you guys are going to be facing Dutchtown, and that's the next step on the road to the Dome. Terrence, let me start with you. What does Dutchtown do that may be a challenge for this defense?
They have very big offensive linemen. They got good skill position. Quarterback is good, likes to run. And, you know, we just got to go out there and play our game.
Now, you're a captain and also a two-time All-District performer, MVP on defense, which is pretty stout, a four-year letterman. Is there anybody in the Rummel that preceded you that maybe had an impact on your career, a player?
Not really.
That you modeled your style after, perhaps?
No, not really.
Okay, I didn't know if there's anybody, being an outside linebacker, you play that monster back position, which kind of challenges you to not only cover in the pass, but you have to fend for the run as well.
Yeah, playing linebacker, you got to be tough. It's all about having heart. We're not the biggest linebacker crew, but we do our assignments. Our linemen get us open to make plays, and we just fly to the ball and make the play.
Now, Michael, you're a three-year letterman and a captain as well. What is it about, is there anybody that maybe watching on TV that you've kind of modeled your style after, as you kind of favor as a linebacker or a player?
A couple guys from a few years ago when we went to the state championship, Phil Helmstetter, Chris Randall, DeJuan Dunbar, those guys who played that year as linebackers, I've kind of tried to imitate their game and take my game to the next level.
And Matthew, I know your dad was a pretty good player at the high school level. How much has his skill and his input impacted both you and Michael?
I think it's helped a lot. I mean, he coached us since we were little. We were always playing football around him. We grew up around football. He really helped us out, just like knowing the game. Now,
I'm going to start with you on this question. The Catholic district will be put back together again next year, and to have Shaw, Holy Cross, and St. Aug again back in the mix. What will that be like to have the Catholic League back together playing in it?
I think that'll be great. I'm ready to have all the Catholic schools back together in Standard Division. I think it'll be a good thing for the Catholic League.
Michael, what is your plans after this year as far as college or beyond? Any thoughts on what you may be interested in doing?
I don't really have anything planned out yet. My pretty much backup plan right now is I got into LSU and going to go into engineering probably.
And Terrence, what do you plan on doing following this conclusion?
Plan on going to college, play football, but if I don't play football, I'm going to go into sports training or something with sports because I love sports. So.
Is there a school that you maybe have an eye on, perhaps
knocking
on the door?
Not right now. Hopefully some come.
Well, with you guys, and I'm going to start with you, with this defense, with the shutouts, how important it is, you've had 2 shutouts already this year, how important is it for this defense to pitch a shutout?
It's very important. Everybody had to play their part. All 11 got to run to the ball, and we just got to do our own assignment. We all be together every game, run to the ball, like Coach Jack said. We can be successful and go a long way.
Michael, what is your skill set? What do you feel like you bring to the table as a linebacker?
I think I kind of, being an older guy on the team, and we got sort of young defense, and I feel like I can help the other guys improve on their game by watching film of them and other opponents to kind of just give them a little helpful hand to increase their game.
And Matthew, this touchdown team you guys will be playing, it'll be a very physical game for you, won't it?
Yes, sir, it will. I know the offensive line is pretty big. They're big.
Okay, we're going to be back with more Rummel Raiders right here on Severn from Voodoo BBQ, the Prep Recruiting Inside. Back with more right after this.
Welcome back to the Voodoo BBQ, 2740 Severn, the best barbecue anywhere in the world, in the state. Yes, here in Metairie. You better believe it. We have 3 more all-district players from the Rummel Raider football team. And as we look at them, right next to me is Keith Bolton. He's number 21. He is a junior tailback, 5'11", 166 pounds. We also have the kicker, Zach Poulette, 5'6", 135 pounds, 130 of that, and a strong right leg that's helped the Rummel Raiders score some points and send the ball deep. And next to him is Damarius Crawford. Damarius is a 6 foot, 167 pound senior defensive back. And let's talk a little bit to Damarius about this defense, first of all, because you guys have just been absolutely outstanding defensively, especially against Lafayette last week in winning that state playoff game, first round playoff game. You had Lafayette to 74 yards in the first half. Says a lot about this defense. Talk about that great defensive effort.
Yes, sir. Our defense, we try and play focused, fast and physical, and if we do all those things, we think we have a good shot at stopping any offense.
What has helped this defense come together as a unit and be as strong as they are?
I think we have some good captains. They really lead the defense, and we're really together.
You're a defensive back. This is a strong defensive backfield. Few teams have had success passing on the Raiders. What's helped you guys in coverage be as successful as you've been?
It has to be the pressure. Our defensive line does a good job of getting pressure on the quarterback, making them scramble.
This is a special team. You guys went so far last year, didn't finish it. You've got an opportunity to finish it this year. What's the mindset of the team as they enter these playoffs?
We just want to finish. Do what the other teams couldn't do.
This is a recruiting show. You are a senior, and I know you've got your eyes, you've received some letters, but you've got your eyes on maybe Millsaps or the University of Louisiana Monroe. Excited about those 2 schools, and why those 2?
Very excited, and I'm just trying to get out there. They have some great opportunities for me.
Good deal. Let's talk a little bit of special teams. Zach Poulette, he is a senior kicker, only 5'6", but he's got a 48-yarder that beat Acadiana, his longest, and he consistently on kickoffs puts the ball inside the 5 all the way to the goal line, and that right there helps a specials team. Talk about your special teams and your strong kicking leg.
Well, special teams is very important. Even the coaches know that. They pretty much want us to do good, and we practice special teams every day. Yeah, it's very important to us.
When you lined up the game winner against Acadiana from the 38-yard line, a 48-yard field goal, what went through your mind?
I was nervous.
Were you really? And then the snap of the ball?
And I just went and kicked it.
That's it. Now, you learned to be a kicker on the soccer fields. You're a soccer-style kicker. How has soccer helped you become a better kicker?
I've been playing soccer since I was 4 or 5 years old, so I guess that's where I got my strong leg from.
And do you prefer soccer or football?
Football is fun, but I've been playing soccer my whole life, so I prefer soccer.
I'll be doggone. Any special plans after high school?
I mean, I'm going to go to college, and I'll try to walk on, but see how everything goes from here.
At 5'6", you may have to walk on, but with the strong leg and performing like you have a step forward. If you decide you want to play, you're going to play with somebody, young man.
Thank you.
All right, Zach Poulette. And let's just come right here to number 21, Keith Bolton. He is a junior tailback, 18 touchdowns on the year, 16 rushing, 2 receiving, and you're fast, aren't you?
Something like that.
How fast are you?
Probably. I'm not speedy, but you know, I'm about a 4.6.
So when you get a little space, you can turn on the afterburners and go.
Well, yeah, I could turn on the afterburners. If I had to make a move or 2, I'd do that.
What is it like playing tailback and being able to be a receiver or a runner on an offense that's got a quarterback as good as Damian Williams?
You know, Coach put us in the positions that he thinks we can be successful in the games. You know, Coach told me how good my hands are, so when I play receiver, I hope if he give me the ball, I hope to make a play.
Those 16 rushing touchdowns and 2 receiving, which means more to you, the 2 receiving or the 16 rushing?
think the rushing touchdowns maybe more.
I would think that. What's so special about this offense led by Damian, your quarterback, that you guys really feel like you can put the points on the board and take it all the way this year again?
Everyone plays their part. You know, we have great receivers, a great quarterback, and tailbacks along with the other three that's behind me. So we all play our part, and when we get in the game, we all try to make plays.
So it's like Sean Payton would tell the Saints, you do your job.
Yes, sir.
How has Rummel High School helped get you ready for life?
You know, going to Rummel, honestly, I never heard of Rummel until my 8th grade year. When I heard of it, I thought, you know, this could be the place for me. You know, Christian. You know, I'm a Christian, and I learned more about God and where I am, and I think it's going to make me a great person in life.
Fantastic. Zach, same question. Rummel gets you ready. You're a senior. You're getting ready to move on to college and do your thing. How has Rummel gotten you ready for life after high school?
Well, it's a Catholic school, and I'm Catholic, so it helps me get closer to God. And it teaches me responsibility, and it brings me closer to going to the new world.
Damarius Crawford, Coach Jay Roth has been a very special person to the Rummel program for many, many years. What have you taken from Jay Roth that's helped you become a better man, a better leader, a better person?
It definitely has to be the hard work aspect. If you put in hard work, you're definitely going to get results.
That's fantastic. And you guys feel pretty good about the rest of the way and touchdown coming up this week?
Yes, sir.
Well, we want to wish you the best of luck in that game and the best of luck as you march toward the Superdome, okay? Fantastic. Thank you guys for being with us on the show.
Thank you for having me.
We'll take a break, and Renee will have 3 more all-district players from the #1 ranked Rummel Raider football team when we come back to the Voodoo BBQ, 2740 Severn, the best barbecue. And by the way, you can get a smoked turkey for Thanksgiving. We'll tell you more about that in the show later on, right here at the Voodoo. Best way to celebrate and enjoy Thanksgiving.
Welcome back to the Prep Recruiting Insider. I'm Renee Nato. We're here on Severn at Voodoo BBQ, 2740 Severn, and we're taking an under the helmet look at the #1 ranked Rummel Raiders. With us today is quarterback Damian Williams, a 2-time MVP All-District, tight end Cethan Carter, and cornerback junior Andre Tolliver. Guys, first of all, congratulations with the #1 ranking. Damian, let me start with you. Excuse me. With that #1 ranking comes some responsibility. You have a target on your back.
Yes, sir. And it pushes you to work hard every week in practice, and know that you can get knocked off any week. But now that we're in the playoffs, there's no redos after this. After you lose a game, there's no redos.
Now there's a excuse me. There's a lot of colleges that have been looking at you up close. What do you feel? What kind of a college program do you feel like you would best fit in?
I like to get a chance to run the ball a little bit, but even throw it more than I run.
Is there a quarterback, Damian, that you kind of model your style? You show some great footwork here, some escapability, some mobility. Is there a quarterback that you like?
One of my favorite quarterbacks, Cameron Newton.
Okay.
That plays for Panthers right now, and I mean, he does both, run and throw, and he's a very good leader of his football team.
Now, I know you're not there yet, and Coach Roth would kill me for asking you this, but having been to the Dome before, how much is this path helping you along the playoff picture right now?
I mean, I know what it takes to get there, and I know you have to work really, really hard, and you have to be humble. So I kind of use that to help my team out to get us through.
Tight end Cethan Carter, and Cethan, great size, 6'4", 240. You've been on the receiving end of a couple of this guy's passes. I have to feel like you have the hands to be a receiver, but your blocking is outstanding. Is that something that comes natural to you or something you worked on?
Yes, sir. I mean, I've always been physical since park ball.
And what kind of offense would you like to fit in a college program? Who are some of the schools that you're looking at right now?
FIU, Ole Miss, Southern Miss, Tulane. I'm going up to LSU this weekend.
Now, what kind of offense do you feel like you'd best suit? best suited for?
A pro style, you know, one that throws and where I get to show off my catching ability and blocking also.
And the thing is, the interesting thing about you three guys is you're all basketball players. How does the basketball skills translate to football?
You know, catching, boxing out, you're going to get the rebound. It's the same thing as that. And catching the football, going up high at the highest point to get it.
And Andre Tolliver, a junior cornerback, I guess I'll start with the same question. Being a basketball player, the hips, the same kind of skills on a basketball court translate, especially to a cornerback.
Yeah, like for your,
I guess the skill set to jumping, playing on the balls of your feet, the hip work and everything like that. I'm sure that's translates very well.
Time for your reactions, ball skills.
Now, what do you feel like, Andre, is your skills as a cornerback? What do you feel like is your strengths?
I'm a much taller cornerback, so I guess that's an advantage.
Okay, and I know you're a junior, but are there some schools that maybe have expressed some interest in you already?
Tulane so far.
Okay, and is there a when you get letters from schools, Andre, do you kind of keep a closer eye on what kind of defense they play?
Not really. I mean, Tulane is struggling this year, so I'm trying to recruit players to get back on their feet.
And Damian, again, come back to you, and second year in a row, you're the district MVP, and you know, we're in that #1 ranking in the state. When did you feel like, what point in the season was there a game, Damian, that you thought this could be a special year for the Rummel Raiders?
Well, I knew this would be a special year in off-season training. The way we worked hard, the way we came together as brothers. And this team's just not a regular team to us, it's our family.
And you know, out of being a mobile quarterback and a passing quarterback, is there one or the other that you prefer?
I like to throw first before I run, and running is just extra, something extra that I can do. But I'm a run first quarterback. I mean, pass first quarterback.
Now, being a basketball player like these two guys, how much does that help you in your mobility and being a quarterback?
Helps me to be physical and but control physicalness. And I mean, it keeps you in shape. Basketball keeps you in shape to carry over to football.
Now, Cethan, I got to think, being a tight end and a blocker, outstanding blocker, your screens on a basketball court have to be off the charts.
Yes, sir.
Are you a pretty good rebounder, or?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and what do you feel like, what areas do you feel like you need to work on before you get to the next level?
My route running.
Okay, are your hands something that comes natural to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Andre, what areas do you feel like you'd like to improve on as the season goes on?
Tackling and my strength.
Okay, and right now, being the #1 team in the state, Andre, what do you feel like, is that an extra burden, if you will, going into the playoffs?
Yes, it is. I mean, it gives us, you know, like, and being the #1 team, it gives us like the oomph, you know.
Mm-hmm. Damian, I know you'll be gone, but it's got to be, with you and Cethan will be graduated next year, it's got to be special to see the Catholic League coming back again, and you know, St. Aug, Holy Cross, Shaw. As a Catholic League guy, what does that mean to have those schools back in the district together again?
I wish that all those teams were back in the Catholic League when my senior year, this year, and I know that next year it'll be a very competitive district, and we have a tremendous amount of respect for all the rest of those Catholic League schools. So I mean, it's a great district to play in.
See, the same question for you. Is it kind of special being a Catholic school guy that it'll be back intact again with Holy Cross and St. Aug and Shaw coming back again?
Sir. Yes, sir, because you know, we won district this year. I think they'll be hitting, try to knock us off. You know, it's real special.
Damian, what kind of defense will you be looking at Friday night against Touchdown?
Very physical defense and very well-coached defense. They switch up coverages, disguise coverages, and they play real well together as a team.
And Cethan, you had a chance to maybe look at their defense a little bit. Did they do anything similar to an opponent you guys have faced already this year?
I think they run like a similar defense to what Brother Martin did, the 3-down lineman and the Salmon Rover. They're big and physical, real big and physical.
Well, guys, again, congratulations on an outstanding season. Big game coming up against Dutchtown. Hope you continue on the road success, and maybe down the road in the Superdome. Appreciate it again. Andre, Cethan, and Damian Williams. We'll be back with more of the Rummel Raiders right here on Severn from Voodoo BBQ right after this.
We are back at the Voodoo BBQ, 2740 Severn, right off Vets, and we're going to be talking great Voodoo BBQ smoked turkey in just a moment. Ken Berthelot along with Renee Nadeau, and this is our Max Home New Bath Coach and Player of the Week segment. With us from Max Home New Bath is Frank Amos, the Director of Marketing for Max Home in New Bath. And Frank, would you please announce who our Player of the Week is?
Absolutely, Ken. The Player of the Week is McDonald's number 35, Carlos Henderson. He led Ron Eagles to a 28-21 upset over East Jeff. Henderson scored all 3 touchdowns plus a 2-point conversion, totaling 344 all-purpose yards. Caught 4 passes for 117 yards, rushed for 53 yards, 2 kickoffs for 133 yards, including a 97-yard kickoff for a touchdown.
You win with players, Renee Nadeau, and I'll tell you what, when you've got a guy like Carlos Henderson, you can upset East Jefferson in good schools.
Well, you know, we had Carlos Henderson on the show a few weeks ago, and he is explosive heading to Utah right now.
Frank Amos, would you please announce our Max Home New Bath Coach of the Week?
Absolutely, Ken. The Coach of the Week is St. Charles Catholic Frank Monica, upsetting Westlake 27-26, Raleigh from 26-7 halftime deficit, shutting out Westlake in a second half.
Yeah, boy, that says a lot. When you can rally and shut out a good team like Westlake, holding them scoreless in the second half, Renee. Wow.
Wow, I mean, and he does a great job. And Frank has been there both at a high school and college level. He does a great job.
Frank Amos, exciting times at Max Home New Bath, because not only do you have the products everyone is familiar with, there's new products and a new place you can get them.
That's right, Ken. Not only do we do baths, but we also do windows, radiant barrier, which is a high-tech insulation. But we also, our new products of the year is our outdoor living products and our water softener products. Our outdoor living products, you know, right now this is the best time of the year to spend some time outside. You might want to put a little fire pit out there, but it's very nice to have a patio cover or maybe even a pergola, or adding on an extra living space with a sunroom. And we can do that for you today. These products can be seen at your Home Depot, or you can go to our website at newbathnow.com. You can check out all of our products, or give us a call at 504-218-4198, and we have our technicians on the line to answer your calls.
Frank, the only reason we don't actually shoot a show at Max Home New Bath is we couldn't get Renee out of the tub. It'd be like his old days at LSU. He'd think he's in the old whirlpool, and we'd never get him out of one of those comfortable baths. But boy, congratulations. You and Larry Kloss have done such a great job with Max Home New Bath.
Thank you, Ken.
And also with us today is the regional manager from the Voodoo BBQ, and that is Jim Leslie. Jim, first of all, thank you very much for having us as your guest and the guest of your staff here at 2740 Severn. Best ribs, best barbecue. We talk about it all the time, but more importantly than all of that being great is the special you all have for Thanksgiving. My favorite dish here at Voodoo BBQ is the smoked turkey, and you guys have something very special with the turkeys.
We do, Ken, and thank you for coming here. Our smoked turkeys, we do have a promotion going all the way to the end of the year, not just Thanksgiving. So the smoked turkeys by themselves, a 10 to 14 pound turkey, $29.95, smoked, ready to go, hot, served to you. Just call and let us know when you want it, and we will have it ready for you.
And if you need a bigger turkey and you've got more people to feed, you've got that too.
Well, we've got, we have parties of 6 or parties of 12 that'll feed with some extra sides. It'll feed 6 and 12 people. The 6 will come in at about $49.95, and feeding 12 people, it's a $59.95 package.
Now, one thing people should know, you can get this turkey. You order your turkey early. You can get it. Are you guys open Thanksgiving
We
Day?
can pick it up. We're open to pick up Thanksgiving
There you go.
turkeys. We'll be open till 4 o'clock here at Cethan. So you can order it, pick it up that day hot, or you can pick it up the day before, and we have reheat instructions that you can reheat it up the next day, and it's good as new.
So if you would like to come here and pick up the turkey, this is where you come. We'll put the graphic up on the screen and show you Voodoo BBQ and Grill, 2740 Cethan Avenue, right here in Metairie. Real easy. It's between Veterans and the I-10 service road, right off Veterans. It's just a block or two off Veterans on Cethan. Easy to get to, plenty of parking, great food. You know what? Spend time with the family and less time cooking, because you won't beat the smoked turkey that you can get right here at the Voodoo BBQ. It is a fabulous, for all the great barbecue, your smoked turkey is right up there with the ribs and everything else. Jim, you guys have done a great job.
Thank you very much, Ken.
Thank you,
Appreciate it.
Jim Leslie. Thank you, Frank Amos, Max Home, New Bath, our sponsors of the Coach and Player of the Week. You guys always do a great job. Renee and I and our entire WHNO TV20 crew appreciate you guys, and thank you very much. We'll take a break and be back with our legend. You'll like who it is when we come back from the Voodoo BBQ, 2740 Cethan here in Metairie. We are back at the Voodoo BBQ on the Prep Recruiting Insider, 2740 Cethan, right off Veterans. Ken Berthelot, Renee Nadeau, and our very special Legends guest, the great Norm Hodgins, who played in the 60s at Rummel, went on to LSU, and then to the National Football League. Norm, welcome to the show. Glad to have you.
Thanks, Ken. Appreciate you having me here.
I'll tell you what, it had to be a special day for you to watch these young men do at Rummel what you guys did back in the 60s.
Well, it certainly is. Coach Jay Roth deserves a great deal of credit. He's built a great program, not just coaching a team, but he's built a great program. These young men are part of that building block that's been building for a number of years now. His dad was a wonderful coach for many years. Don Poulette was his coach when he was at Rummel and played. He was my back coach. And of course, we talked earlier, Joe Galliano was my head coach when our early years at Rummel. And he built those characteristics of a good program were there. The foundation was there. We just had to get the players to come and play, and over time they have. And what a great program.
What made Joe Galliano and even Don Poulette as the backs coach, the special coaches, the special people that they were, that helped you succeed and eventually become a pretty good player at LSU?
Well, thank you. I think the difference were that those folks understood who we were as players, but they understood who we were as individuals. And they tried to mold our personalities to become part of a team unit. And it was all about team, and it was about that early on. That continued many years, as you know, even beyond. I'm the oldest of 6 brothers that played at Rummel, so I have some of the experience even with my brothers playing beyond my years. What those guys did, they really genuinely cared about us, and that was evident in how they coached and how they treated us. Now, they were tough. Those were tough coaches and tough years, and their expectations were high, and we were a new program. We were kidding some of the other players earlier about my freshman year at Rummel. When they delivered helmets to us, they were leather helmets. As my kids always make fun of me, but true enough they were. And so we were a brand new school trying to build something.
Leather helmets, Renee.
You know, you played before you went to the Bears. And it scares me because, you know, Norm and I are about the same era here. But anyway.
We knew Renee played in leather helmets.
That's exactly right.
We didn't have helmets at all. But, you know, you played on some great teams with LSU, and some names I recall: Warren Capone, Tommy Casanova, Tyler Fossey, Bert Jones, Brad Davis, Steve Rogers, some really, really great players, John Wood. Those defenses that you played on were very, very special.
Well, they were, and once again is that Charlie Mack, many folks talk a lot of things about him, but once again, a very special person. He touched many, many folks, many lives, and it's still doing some great things. So he has a scholarship program at LSU for the children of his former players to provide them the education that they may not be able to get in other ways. But what we had is he put some great players on defense, and I was fortunate to be part of some of those guys and learned a lot. clearly the fellow that taught me the most in my career as a fellow that we wanted to emulate as much is Tommy Casanova. He's the best football player I ever played with, including in the pro ranks. Wow. He just had certain talents and skills. And if you measured him by all the standards of the combines today, he would fit, but it wasn't until he got on the field and what he did. He was like a tiger, if you will, a caged cat in a 10-yard mold. But they were great players, two-time All-Americans, Warren Capone, Tyler Fauci, one of the greatest linemen maybe that ever played LSU and was All-American. Mike Miley, unfortunate his untimely demise, but was a great player, a wonderful person. Bert Jones, still today owns many records at LSU and even in pro. I think maybe he's one of the few father-son, where his dad had a record in the NFL and Bert had a record in the NFL at one time. So those were great players, great coaches, and it's very similar to where Rummel has evolved today, where the program is sort of bigger than the players and the teams. We want to vote for the greatest teams ever, but quite honestly, it's the program that's building. And that's what, and Jay understands it. He understands he's got a great role and a great responsibility in that leadership. And these young men that you guys have interviewed today, what fine young men they are. Aside from being great football players and athletes, fine young folks, and I've talked to them today, and they understand where they are and what their role is and what they're supposed to do in each day. So,
it's funny, you went to LSU and succeeded, but originally you wanted to be a Tulane Green Wave, but there was no room at the inn, and you wind up becoming a Tiger. It was kind of funny, being a New Orleans guy, you really had some desire to be a Green Wave.
Well, I was one of 8 kids, and so my parents, we didn't have a chance to go to LSU, and I had season tickets and those sorts of things. So my dad would take us to the Tulane games early on. He would split us up. He'd get 2 tickets here, 3 tickets there, and he would split us up. And my brothers that will see this will remember that and smile, I'm sure. And I thought it was great. Tulane was in a great place at that time. Had a good program. A lot of New Orleans players were on the team. A lot of friends that I knew I played against. So that's where I wanted to go. It just so happened that at the time that I was being recruited, that there was not a place for me, and I was maybe encouraged to look somewhere else. And LSU made an offer. I went to LSU for the first time and was caught up in all the mystique that was going on. And I guess to say the rest is somewhat history.
Charlie Mack, of course, is a very special and has that magnetic personality. What did he do to convince you, hey, you want to come here? And your relationship with him and the guy who you've stayed good friends with through the years, Warren Capone?
Well, I think that what Charlie Mack was able to do, like a lot of great coaches, he let you feel that you were part of the team, even though he was recruiting you. So he talked to you not in a futuristic mold, but as part of the family now. So he made you feel like you were there, you're already there, and you're already part of it, which is a great recruiter, I suspect. But he also, as a player, I mean, he gave you the rules and regulations, and he expected you to follow those. It wasn't, hope you followed him or we deal with that if something comes up. He clearly expected every one of us to be part of that team, and we were teams. We were great programs. Renee talked earlier about defenses. I think we led the nation in defense, especially against the run, for a number of years there. That was just, we were there. We expected to play well. We expected to hold teams down, and I think there was a backbone. Although we had great offensive talent, we had some pretty good talent on defense. And of course, Warren Capone, one of my dearest friends, has had a great career. Was a 2-time All-American in high school at Catholic High in Baton Rouge, 2-time All-American at LSU. Went to the World Football League, wound up at the Cowboys, go to the Super Bowl, and has a Super Bowl ring to prove for that, which is one of the things that anybody who's had a chance to play in the NFL wants that ring.
Somebody that, a couple other names that LSU fans will recall, Ronnie Este was an All-American, Mike Williams, an unbelievable cornerback,
great player.
And Bo Harris, another guy who went to the NFL.
Absolutely.
Those defenses were unbelievable. One game that sticks out in my mind, you guys faced off with Notre Dame. There were other memorable battles. Is there any game in particular, Norm, that really comes to mind?
Well, that Notre Dame game clearly is one of the top of the list, mainly because of the fact that we played them the year before for the first time in a 3-0 game where they scored. Ironically, they scored at like 2 minutes and 50 seconds to go in the game to a field goal to win that one. They scored again the next year against us, their only touchdown, where we beat them 28-8, and it was scored at 2 minutes and 50 seconds to go in the game. I don't know how that worked out, but it did. Notre Dame was loaded. They were great teams, great coach. Eric Parsegian was their coach. And that memory was a great memory. We had great bowl games. We went to the Sun Bowl, we went to the Orange Bowl, and went to the Astro Bluebonnet Bowl. So we had a great time and great coaches and memorable games.
Goodness, we didn't even get a chance to talk about Norm's NFL career. Norm, the time flies too fast. What a great career. We'll do this again.
Thanks,
and we
Ken.
thank you very much for joining Renee and I on the Prep Recruiting Insider Legend segment, a true legend of the game.
Thanks for having the Rummel Raiders on.
You better believe it on Rummel Day. We'll be back in just a moment to wrap up this edition of the Prep Recruiting Insider from the Voodoo BBQ 2740 Severn. The Voodoo BBQ and Grill, 2740 Severn, here in Metairie, right off Veterans, between Veterans and the I-10 Service Road. As good as the barbecue is, remember, order your smoked turkey. Come and get the smoked turkey plate, but order your smoked turkey for Thanksgiving. You can pick it up on Thanksgiving. You can pick it up the day before Thanksgiving, and they've got reheat information for you. There's no easier way to have a great Thanksgiving meal. Southland Conference football, tomorrow night, Southeastern at Nichols. We've got it live on sportsnola.com at 6 p.m. and tape delayed 9 p.m. tomorrow night right here on WHNO TV 20. I'll be working with Rick Gailey on that game, and we expect this one to be a barn burner down in Thibodaux. The Southland Conference game of the week, Renee will be working this one. Northwestern at Stephen F. Austin, Saturday, 3 p.m. live right here on WHNO TV 20. Renee and Randy McElvoy will be working that game. And you know what? Two good football games. We got to have a lot of fun with that.
Looking forward to it. Did Stephen F. Austin a couple of weeks ago. Wide open attack. Really, really exciting offense. So that should be a
we've got
high
a
school
dynamite show lined up next week. In the last 30 seconds, who do we have besides Jack Salter as our legend and Tommy Chrysan coming with him from Pelican Sports?
East Jefferson's Nick Salto-Formaggio will have some of his players, and they've got a great attack, some juniors that are being highly recruited. So East Jeff next week.
And again, Jack Salter, our Legends guest with Tommy Chrysan. From the Voodoo BBQ, thanks for being with us for the entire WHNO TV 20 crew. Renee Nadeau and myself, Ken Berthelot. We'll see you next week with another edition of the Prep Recruiting Insider.